Hello and welcome back to Vyasa IAS CSAT course. This is lecture number 38 of the Vyasa IAS CSAT course of time and work. So let's begin with the lecture. Now look at this question because we have already done time and work for two classes. Look at this question. This is a data interpretation type question from time and work. Now this is a very lengthy question, but still we'll try to solve it. Okay. So let us begin. Now read this question very carefully what this question is saying. The question is saying that study the following table and answers the question that follow. Darbar Toy Company has to go through the following stages of launch of a new toy. Design and development, expert man days required are 30, non-expert man days are required are 60. Prototype creation, expert man days required are 15 and non-expert man days required are 20. Similarly, for market surveys, we have this data. For manufacturing setup, we have this data. For marketing and launch, we have this data. And then the profile of the company's manpower is given. Now, there is a worker that is named A. He is expert in design and development and he is non-expert at all others. And he is refusing to work on market survey. Similarly, there is a worker B who is expert at prototype creation, who is non-expert at all others, and who is refusing to work at market survey. And then you have this market survey C, who is non-expert at all others and who is refusing to work on design and development. And then you have this marketing and launch. So this person C, he is expert in market survey as well as marketing and launch. And then you have this expert D, then you have this worker D who is expert in manufacturing and non-expert at all others and is refusing to work on market survey. And then you have this worker named E who is expert at market survey, who is non-expert at all others and who is refusing to work on manufacturing. Okay, so actually this is the data. Now let us look at the first question. So in the first question it is saying, given this situation, the minimum number of days in which the company can launch a new toy going through all the stages is. Okay, so now actually let us first understand the question. The question is saying that we have these stages of development 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in which design and development, prototype creation, market survey, manufacturing setup and marketing and launch is there. And then we require some expert man-days for doing these jobs and some non-expert man-days required to do these jobs are 60. So what it is actually saying that to do design and development, okay, let us call it D&D, that to do design and development, actually this expert man-days required is 30. That means any person will be who is expert in design and development will be able to do that work in 30 days. Similarly, if any work of prototype creation is there, so any expert is able to do that in 15. Now we know A is expert in design and development, so basically A is able to complete design and development in 30 days. Because B is expert in prototype creation, then the question says that B is able to do prototype creation within 15 days. Similarly, there is a market survey work. So that market survey work expert person is able to do in 30 days and non-expert person is able to do in 40 days. But there are some people who are refusing to work on market survey. So basically, A, B, and D are refusing to work on market survey. So that means only this E person who is expert in market survey. So in market survey, only expert people will work. Non-expert can't work because they are refusing to work on market survey. Okay, and similarly, then you have manufacturing setup, so that can be done in 15 days, and then you have marketing and launch, so that can be done in 15 days. Okay, so all these things are there. So I think now you have understood the question. The question is saying these are the stages of development. Some people are expert in it, so they are able to do in some expert mandates required, and then some people are non-expert in it, so they are able to do in non-expert mandates required. Okay, so this is basically the profile of the work. Now let us do this. Okay, now let us start doing the questions. So if we look at the first question, it is saying, given the situation, the minimum number of days in which the company can launch a new toy going through all the stages. Okay, fine. So let us see this question. Now see, it is saying given the minimum number of days in which the company can launch a new toy going through all the stages is. Okay, so let us try to do this question. Given this situation, the minimum number of days in which the company can launch a new toy. Okay, so we have to calculate the number of days. So now look at this data. Okay, to calculate the number of days, we have to look at this data. Okay, now see, to do, we have basically five stages of like this Darbar company toy launch. Okay, so to design and development of a toy, expert man days required are 30. Okay, expert man days are required are 30. And who is expert in doing design and development? A. So basically it is saying that A is able to do 10 by 3 because 100% of the work is done in 30 days. So A is able to do 10 by 3% of the work in one day. Okay, A is able to do 10 by 3% of the work in one day. And then you have non-expert man days. So we have non-expert man days is 60. So any non-expert is able to do 100 by 60 of the work in one day. So that means how much? That means 5 by 3% of the work. Okay. Now who all are non-expert in design and development? B, C, D E are non-expert in design and development, but C will not work in design and development because he or she is refusing to do so. Then you have B, D, and E. Those are working on design and development. Okay, so we have three people. Those are non-expert and trying to work on design and development. Okay, so 10 by 3% of the work is done in one day by this person, and 3 into 5 by 3 times of the work is done by B, D, E in one day. Okay, so basically we get 10 by 3 plus 15 by 3, that is 25 by 3% of the work is done in one day. Okay, that means 1% of the work is done in how many days? Obviously the reverse of this. So 3 by 25 days. Okay, and 100% of the work it will be done in how many days? 3 by 25 into 100, that means 12 days. Okay, because this will come 4, so this will come to be 12 days. Okay, fine. So now we know that uh, um, uh, using expert mandates plus non-expert mandates, we are able to do this work in 12 days. Okay. Now let us calculate for prototype creation. Okay. So expert mandates for prototype creation required are 15. Okay. And non-expert mandates for prototype creation required are 20. So that means 100 by 15% of the work is done by an expert in one day. Now, who is expert? B is expert. Okay, B is expert here. Let us write the expert and non-expert as well. Okay, so we know A is expert for design and development, and B, D, and E are non-expert. Okay, similarly, we come here. Okay, so B is expert in prototype creation. Okay, B is expert in prototype creation, and then we have B is expert in prototype creation, and then we have B is expert in prototype creation, and then we have this design and development. Okay, and this A person, this C person, and this D person, and this E person. Okay, this A, C, D, and E person to be working in 20 days. Okay, so 100 by 20. Okay, 100 by 20. So we have this as okay, we have this as 5% of the work is done in one day. And how many non-expert people are there? 4. Okay, so you have 100 by 15, that is 20 by 3% of the work. And then we have this. So 20 by 3 plus 20 is equals to 80 by 3. So this much percent work is done in one day. Okay, so 80 by 3% work is done in one day. Okay, so 1% work is done by 3 by 80 days. Okay, so 100% of the work will be done by 3 by 80 into 100. Okay, so this will come to be, this is 5, this is 4. You have this 15 divided by 4. So that is 7.5 divided by 2, or 3.75 days. So we get this as 3.75 days. Okay, let us write it here. We get this as 3.75 days. We get this as 12 days. Okay, here we find expert are A and B, and non-expert are B, D, and E for this. And for prototype creation, A, C, D, and E are expert. Okay, fine. So this is a question which is a little on the lengthier side, but we will still do it because we need to understand how to do data interpretation type of question. Okay, so in data interpretation, first understand the concept, calculate the thing, and then we can answer. Okay, and then we can answer. See, because I'm explaining it to you, definitely it is taking a lot of time. But when you will do this by yourself, it will take, definitely it will take less amount of time. Okay, now you have this market survey. Now you have this market survey. This market survey can be done in 30 days. Okay, this market survey can be done in 30 days, and this is 100 by 30. So this is 10 by 3 days by expert. Okay, and by non-expert it can be done in 100 by 40. Okay, so this can be done in 5 by 2 days. Okay, 5 by 2 days. Now who all are trying to work on market survey? Only C and E. So we know that only two experts are there who are working on market survey. So in one day, 20 by 3% of the work is done, and there is no other person, non-expert person, who is trying to work on market survey. Okay, so only 20 by 3% of the work is done in one day. That means 3 by 20% of the work. Uh, 3 by 20 days, 1% of the work will be done. 1% work will be done in 3 by 20 days. So 100% work will be done in 15 days. So let us write 15 here. So here we have C and E as experts, and we have none as non-experts. Okay, we have none as non-experts. Fine. We have none as non-experts. Okay, okay, fine. Now let us understand, now let us try to do this about manufacturing setup. Okay, so expert man days are 15 and non-expert man days are 30. Okay, okay, expert man days are 15 and non-expert man days are 30. Okay, so now this, let us do this about manufacturing setup. Okay, 100 by 15 and 100 by 30. Okay, 100 by 15 and 100 by 30. So we have this 20 by 3 and we have this 10 by 3. Okay, we have this 20 by 3 and we have this 10 by 3. Okay, so this is there. Now see, manufacturing, now we have this manufacturing. Okay, now who is expert in manufacturing? D is expert in manufacturing. So let us write D here. And who are non-expert in manufacturing? We have A, B, C and E, but E is refusing to work on manufacturing. So we have A, B, C. Only A, B, C will work in manufacturing. Okay, only A, B, C will work in manufacturing as non-experts. Now non-experts are 3. So we have 10, 10 by 3 into 3. So in one day, actually, how much work is done? Obviously 50 by 3%. Okay, in one day, 50 by 3% is work is done. So 1% of the work is done in 3 by 50 days. Okay, so 100% of the work is done in 3 by 50 into 100. So that means how many days? 6 days. Okay, so now we have manufacturing setup work is done in 6 days. Okay, now let us find for, now let us find for, now let us find for this marketing and launch. Now see, this marketing and launch, who is expert in marketing and launch? C is expert in marketing and launch. Okay, so C will be able to do it in 100 by 15. That is obviously 20 by 3 days. Okay, and uh, we have this non-expert mandate, sorry, for marketing and launch. Okay, for marketing and launch, non-expert man days are 20, and everybody is agreeing to do. marketing and launch work. Okay, so we have four expert, non-expert in marketing and launch, that is 100 by 20. Okay, so this is 20 by 3 plus 20 is equals to 80 by 3. So we have 3 by 80 days. Okay, 3 by 80 days. So 100 into 3 by 80. Okay, so we have this as 5 by 4. Okay, so we have this as 15 by 4 days. Okay, so we have this as 3.75 days. Okay, we have this as 3.75 days. Okay, so we have this as 3.75 days. Fine, 3.75 days, and this can be done by A, B, C, D. Okay, A, B, C, D. Fine. And we have expert as which one are expert in marketing and launch. C is expert in marketing and launch, and A, B, D, E are non-experts. Okay, A, B, D, E are non-expert. So actually this is our data. Okay, this is our data which we have taken out. Okay, now see, when sorry. Now see, when we look at this question, okay, the question asking, given this situation, the number of days in which the company can launch a new toy going through all the stages. Okay, so we have to add all these stages. So just add 12 plus 15 plus 6. So how much are you getting? 27 plus 6, that is 33, and then you have 3.75 plus 3.75. Okay, so you have this as 0, and we have this as 5, and we have this as 7.50. Okay, so this becomes 40.50. Okay, so that means this work can be done in 40.50 days. Okay, this work can be done in 40.50 days. So this is how we do this. Now let us just move on to the next question. Okay, so we'll try to only rub this part, because this part that we have calculated is very important for us. Okay, this part that we have calculated is very important for us. So I'm not going to rub this part. Okay. Um, okay. 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 Oh, no problem. We have this ACDNE. Okay. Now see, in data interpretation, always keep your data intact. Okay. Now let us move on to the next question. So what the next question is saying, if A and C refuse to do anything, if A and C refuse to have to do anything with manufacturing setup, the number of days by which the project will get delayed. Okay. So basically, let us see uh, when is manufacturing happening. Okay, let us go back. Okay, and it is it is asking if A and C refuse to do okay. So if A and C refuse to do refuse to have to do anything with the manufacturing setup, okay, the number of days by which the project will get delayed. So So let us look at the manufacturing setup. Okay. So in manufacturing setup, if A and C are removed, okay, so then we have only B working in manufacturing setup. Okay. Now we earlier we found out that um, manufacturing will take how many days? 15 days. Okay. No, no, no. We found out that manufacturing will take 6 days. Okay. Manufacturing will take 6 days. Fine. Now we are removing two people from here. Okay. We are removing this A and C from here. So how many days will manufacturing require? So you have this as 100 by 15, and A and C are not doing the work. So you have only B doing the work of manufacturing as a non-expert. So you have 100 by 30. So in so in one day, how much percent of the work is done? because 100% of the work is done in 15 days. So in one day, 100 by 15% of the work will be done. Okay, so sorry. So we have this as 20 by 3 and we have this 10 by 3. So 10% of the work is done in one day. Okay. So that means in 10 days the work will be complete, because if 10% of the work is done in one day, so 100% of the work will be done in 100 by 10 days. So you have 10 days. Now earlier you were taking 6 days, now you are taking 10 days. So that means 4 more days you are taking. Okay. So the answer will be so the answer will be 4 days. Okay. Okay, so we have this as 4 days. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so in this we have seen if A and C refuse to have to do anything with the manufacturing setup. Fine. Now it is saying if each of the five work is equally valued at 10,000, then the maximum amount of the work will then the maximum amount will be received by which one of the following. Okay, so let us calculate this. Now see this, in this the question is asking that if so now look at this question. It is asking if each of the five works is equally valued at 10,000, the maximum amount will be received by. Okay, so how we will calculate the work? See, because 100% of any work is valued at 10,000. Okay, 100% of any work is valued at 10,000. Now we have to find out that the maximum amount will be received by which one. Okay, so let us find out. So who will do the maximum percentage of the work? Okay, whichever person will do the maximum percentage of the work, that will receive the maximum amount. Okay, that person is going to receive the maximum amount. So let us find that out. Okay, now see, uh, uh, in this we have to find which person is doing how much work. Okay, so see, in design and development, let us say P, C, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, these are the all five person. We have to calculate which one is doing the maximum amount of the work. Okay, so this A person is expert in design and development. Okay, and he is doing 100 by 30 of the work, that is 10 by 3% of the work in one day. When we calculated this design and development, because you all will be having the data. Okay, so this person worked as an expert for 12 days. So 10 by 10 divided by 3 into 12. Okay, then this A person can also do prototype creation, and this prototype creation will be done in how many expert man days? 20. So he will be doing 100 by 20 of the work, and this prototype creation actually took how many days? It took 3.75 days. So you will just multiply 3.75 here. Okay, plus okay, plus, so plus what will happen that now this A person has not refused to work on market survey also. Okay, so he will contribute to market survey as well. How much? 100 by 40 as a non-expert. Okay, 100 acha, no, this A person has refused to do market survey, so will not count this 100 by 40. Okay, now this manufacturing setup is there. So this manufacturing setup person, okay, this manufacturing setup, A has not refused to do manufacturing. Okay, so A will also be doing 100 by 30. Okay, now this manufacturing setup takes how much time? This manufacturing setup takes 6 days, I think. Okay. Okay, this manufacturing setup, let us say it takes 6 days. So we'll multiply this by 6, okay, and then we have this marketing and launch. So he is able to do 5% of the work, and how many days this work is continuing? 3.75 days, okay. How many days this work is continuing? 3.75 days. So we have this as see, you have this as 5, okay, you have this as how much? 100 by 3, so you have this as 4. Okay, so when you will add all this, so this will become 40%. This will become how much? This is 5 into 3.75 and this is 5 into 3.75. So basically you have 2 into 5 into 3.75. So that means 10 into that is this will be 37.5% of the work. Okay, and this will be how much? This will be 50%. So you have this 90 plus okay, this will be how much? In 6 days. Okay, so you will have this 90 plus this is how much? 37.5. So you will have this 127.5% of the work. Okay. So you will have this how much? 127.5% of the work. Fine. Now let us calculate for B. So now this B is expert in prototype creation. Okay. So he will be doing 5 and obviously he is doing 100 by 15% of the work. Okay. 100 by 15 or let us start from here. This B has not refused to do design and development. So first of all, so he will be doing this 100 by 60% of the work. Okay, and this prototype creation takes how many days? 3.75 days. Okay, fine. Sorry, this is not for prototype creation. This design and development takes 12 days. Okay, design and development take 12 days. Okay, and similarly design and development C has refused, so will not add here. Okay, for manufacturing D has not refused to work on design and development, so let us write 100 by 60 into 12 here also, and let us write 100 by 16 to 12 here also, because E has also not refused on doing design and development. Okay. Now uh, B is expert at prototype creation. So 100 by 15. And how much days this prototype creation is taking? 3.75 days. So just write 3.75 here. Okay. And Uh, for A, we have already written. Okay, this C has also not refused to work on prototype creation. So let us just write 100. Okay, 100 by 15. Okay, 100 by 15 into 3.75 here. Okay, sorry, 100 by 60 into 3.7. Sorry, um, yes, 100 by 60 into 3, sorry. 100 by, please pardon me. Okay, 100 by 15 into 3.75 here. Okay, so this is about why, what? Because uh, this will be, sorry, 100 by 20, because non-expert man days are 100 by 20. Okay, so 100 by 20. Now nobody is refusing B, C, D, E, nobody is refusing to work on prototype creation. So we'll add 100 by 20 into 3.75, and again let us add 100 by 20 into 3.75. Okay, so this is the percentage of the work B is doing. Now we have tackled prototype creation ka work for each one of this. Now let us go for market survey. Now who is expert at market survey? C is expert at market survey and E is expert at market survey. Okay, so let us add C's expertise here. Now any expert is able to do in 100 by 30 days. Okay, 100 by 30 days into how many days they are working? So for market survey, okay, for market survey, I think they are working for how many days? They are working for 15 days. Okay. For market survey, they are working for 15 days. Why? Because every other person is refusing. Nobody is doing market survey, and these two people are expert. Okay. Who? C and E are expert. Okay. So 100 by 30 into 15 days they are taking. Okay. Here also you can add 100 by 30 into 15. Okay. Fine. For D, we are adding nothing. Okay. Now you have uh, market survey we have already seen. Okay. Now you have this D. Okay. Now D is doing manufacturing setup cover. So D is expert in it. Okay. Because C we have already tackled. So 100 by 15 and how much days your market manufacturing setup is taking. Okay. So your manufacturing setup is actually taking 6 days. So just write 6 here. Okay. Now who has refused to work on manufacturing E? Okay. So we'll not write manufacturing in E. Otherwise we'll add manufacturing everywhere. Okay. Otherwise we'll add manufacturing everywhere. Now this is also done. Now marketing and launch. Only C is expert in marketing and launch. Okay. Only C is expert in marketing and launch. So marketing and launch C can do in 100 by 15. Okay, and how much time marketing and launch is taking? 3.75 days. Okay, and the rest they are all doing. Okay, so they are doing 5% of the work for 3.75 days. This one also. Okay, and this one also will do because nobody is saying that will not work on marketing and launch. Okay, so you have 100 by 15 into 3.75 plus 100 by 15 into 3.75. See, you can write all these numbers in decimals as well. There is no problem in that. It is just that it will become a little cumbersome. So I am doing this thing. Okay. So now let us calculate this. Okay. So when you will calculate this, so for example, we calculated here, we got 40 plus 37.5. Okay. And okay, so 40 plus 37.5 plus 50. Okay, so we got this 127.5. Now we have this. Okay, um, so obviously this will be cancelled. Okay, the zero will be cancelled. You have this as 2. So this B will be able to do, okay, 20% of the work here. Okay, 20 plus this will become how much? See, we have this as here we have this as 100 by 15 into 3.75 and 5 into 3.75. Okay, so let us this become as 5 by, okay, we will have 5 20 times. Okay, and 5 3 times. Okay, so you have this 20 by 3. Now see, you have to calculate all of this. Okay, you have to calculate all of this. So when I calculate all of this, okay, so I get which one is doing most work. C is we are finding that C is doing the most work. Okay, we'll find C doing the most amount of the work. Fine. So our answer will be C here. Okay. So you calculate all of this, calculate the percentage in all of this. You will find that C is doing the maximum amount of the work. Okay. Fine. Now let us move on to the next question. I've already told you how to calculate the amount of the work anybody is doing, because because like A is doing 127.5% of the work. You will find B will be doing some percentage of the work. You will doing C will be doing some percentage of the work. So we'll find that C does the maximum amount of the work. Okay. Now it is asking uh, for the question number 3, the second highest amount. See, so we will already calculate who is doing the maximum amount of the work. So when I calculated, I got C doing the maximum amount of the work. This calculation only you have to do. So then when you will do the calculation, you will see that D will do the second highest amount of the work. Okay, the same calculation, calculate all of this and you will get your answer. Fine. Okay. Now let us move on to the next question. Now what this next question is saying, I'll not remove this for now. Okay, just read the next question and then we'll know. So now the company is saying if the company decides that the first 4 works can be started simultaneously, an expert will be allocated to their respective work areas only and only when a work will be done by a non-expert, only if the work in his area of expertise is completed, and then the expert who will be first assisted in his work will be assumed that marketing and launch can only be done after the first 4. Okay, so what this question is saying, see, first we calculated the number of days. In the first question we calculated the number of days to launch a new toy. Okay, in the first we calculated the number of days to launch a new toy. Okay, but But in the second, okay, in the second, here what he's saying that now the work, all the four works can start simultaneously. Okay, all the four works can start simultaneously, and the last work, okay, the last work which is there, that has to be done after all the first four work are finished. Okay, so let us go and let us calculate for this. So do write this well. Okay, do write this well, calculate all this and try to get that which one is doing the maximum amount of the work. Okay, that which one is doing the maximum amount of the work. So let us go back and do this sixth question. Okay, let us go back and do calculate the sixth question. So basically here what we are saying that we will first allot only expert to the work, and then only when non-expert will be added to any work when his expert work is finished. Okay. See, now this A person is doing design and development. So design and development, prototype creation, market survey and manufacturing setup can be done simultaneously. Okay, so we'll allot A to design and development. He will be able to do this design and development in 30 days. We'll, we will allot this prototype creation to B, and B will be able to complete this work in 15 days. For market survey, we'll add C and E here. So C and E. So any expert is able to do it in 30 days. So two expert will be able to do this work in 15 days. Okay. And then for manufacturing setup, his work will be completed in 15 days. Who is expert in manufacturing? Obviously D. Okay, obviously D. Now see, all these people B, C, E and D are able to complete their expert work in 50 days, but only A is not able to complete the work in these days. So first they will come to assist A. Okay, first these all people B, C, E and D will come to assist A, but C will not come. Why? Because C refuses to work on design and development. Okay, so we'll get that A will be first assistant because that is what is asked in the question. Okay, because that is what is asked in the question. Okay, so A will be assisted first. I hope you understand this thing. Now let's move on. Okay, now what is the seventh question saying? The seventh question is saying for the above question, that is sixth question, the minimum number of days in which the whole project will get completed, assume everything is utilized efficiently all the time and nobody is utilized in a work that he is refuses to work upon. Okay, so we are having now this setup only, and now let us see how many days it will take. Okay, so now see, we have already seen that these people will start working simultaneously, and this prototype creation, market survey and manufacturing setup all will be completed in 15 days. Okay, all will be completed in 15 days, and then this is design and development. This is taking 30 days to complete. Okay, now see, till 15 days, if A is doing 100% of the work in 30 days, then A might have done 50% of the work in 15 days. Okay, now B, E and D will come to assist. Okay, now A was able to do 10 by 3% of the work in one day. Okay, and when these will come to assist, so they will be able to do how much percent of the work in one day? 100 by 60, which is actually 5 by 3%. Okay, so these three will be able to assist for 5 by 3%. So obviously this is 25. Okay, 25 by 3% of the work is done in one day. Okay, so that means 1% of the work is done in 3 by 25 days. So that means 50% of the work which is left. So that will be done in how many days? 6 days. Okay, that will be done is how many days? 6 days. Or see, we could have very easily done this without calculation, because earlier we calculated that when everyone was working, expert and non-expert, then this design and development work took 12 days. So 50% of the work will take how many days? 6 days when everybody is working. Okay, so 15 plus 6, you have 21 days. Okay, now these 21 days have passed. Now everyone will come to work on marketing and launch. Okay, everyone will come to work on marketing and launch. But C is expert in marketing and launch, and everyone else is non-expert. And we already know when we calculated first that this marketing and launch work, when everybody does together, it takes 3.75 days. So just add 21 plus 3.75. So that is 24.75 days. Okay, that is 24.75 days. Okay, so this is how we do this. Okay, so we got our answer as 24.75 days. So this C will be the appropriate answer. Okay, this C will be the appropriate answer. Now let us move forward. Okay, now let us move forward. Now it is saying for situation 6, the highest earning will be for. Okay, for situation 6, the highest earning will be for. Okay, so obviously, who will do the most? Okay, so this is talking about situation 6. If the company decides to work for 4 works, okay, then the highest earning will be for. Okay, so now let us just go and see that who will do the highest earning in situation 6. Okay, let us go back to our question and let us see who will do the highest earning. Okay, so now this is the thing. Now see, all of these people, A is doing what percent of the work? See, A first did 50% of the work. Okay, then in 6 days, A did how much percent of the work? 20% of the work. Okay, and then A went to do marketing and launch. And in marketing and launch, A is doing 5% of the work. How many days? 3.75 days. Okay, A is doing 5% of the work, 3.75 days. So when you multiply 3.75 into 5, so I think you will get 18.25. So 5 fives are 25 and this is 5 sevens are 35. You will have 37, 3 carry over, so you will get 18.75. Okay, so A is able to do this much of the work. This is how much of the work? This you have this 70 plus 18.75. So A is doing 88.75% of the work. Fine. What about B? B is able to do 100% of the work. Okay. And B will be doing 18.75% of the work as well. Okay. And then you have C. Okay. So C is doing 50% of the work. Okay, C is doing 50% of the work, and then in marketing and launch, okay, first C is doing 50% of the work of market survey. Okay, then C is also uh, first C is doing 50% of the work of market survey. Okay, then this C is also doing marketing and launch. Okay, C will not go to work on design and development. C will go for marketing and launch. Okay, now in marketing and launch, C is doing how much of the work? C is doing 10 by 3 into 3.75. Okay, because this, okay, no, 10, not 10 by 3. C will be doing, I think, 20 by 3 into 3.75. Okay, and 20 by 3 into 3.75 is actually 20 into 1.25, and 1.25 into 2 you will get 2.5, and 2.5 into 20 you will get 25. So C is actually doing how much percent of the work? C is doing this 25% of the work and then this 50% of the work. Okay, so C is actually doing only 75% of the work. Okay, we got B doing how much percent of the work? We got B doing 118.75% of the work. Okay, and then we got this one as doing 88.75% of the work. Now let us see about D. What about D? So D is doing 100% of his work. Okay, and then D is coming and doing this design and development work also. Okay, and then okay, fine. Okay, so see, D is doing how much of the work? D is doing 100% of the work, his own work. Okay, and then Whether D is going for doing this design and development work. Yes, D is also going for doing design and development work. Okay, fine. So D will do 100 plus this 18.75% of the work is, and will D go to do design and development work? Okay, yes, D will go to do design and development work also. Okay, so that also will add here. Fine. So we'll get this as 118.75. Okay. Now you have this E person. E is working on market survey. So E first does 50% of the work. Then E goes to do यहाँ पे 18.75% of the work, I think. Okay. Because how much? Uh, See, look at this question. It was asking us to find out who, if 10,000 rupees is given for each work, who will receive the maximum amount. Okay, so the question was asked like that. So let us calculate about this. Okay, so in the situation that was given in question number 6, actually what is happening, that we have A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, so this B person is doing 15 days 100% of the work, and then C person is doing the work of market survey with E. Okay, so in 15 days 50% of the work is done first. D is also doing manufacturing. Okay, and that is also done in 15 days. So in 15 days 100% of the work, and then E is also doing in 15 days 50% of the work, and then we have this A doing in 30 days. A is doing how much of the work? In 15 days, first 50% of the work is done, plus, okay, plus, then 6 days are left, okay, and 100 by 30 into 6 is how many days? 100 by 30 into 6 is 20% of the work, okay, 20% of the work they are doing, okay, because 6 is how much? 6 is the days. In one day, he's doing 10 by 3% of the work. So in 6 days, he is doing 20% of the work more. Okay, he is doing 20% of the work more. Now, this if he is doing 20% of the work more, then 30% of the work is left. Okay, 30% of the work is left, and we have to distribute this 30% of the work equally among how many people? See, this C will not come to work on design and development. Okay, so that means the remaining of the 30% of the work, this each one is doing, okay, uh, 10% of the work. Okay, this each one is doing 10% of the work. See how I got this? Because one person is doing 100 by 60 of the work and they are taking 6 days. So I get this as 10%, or I can say ki 30% of the work was left. So let us divide 10% on this. Both logic works. Okay, you just have to apply your logic well. Okay, so this is about our design and development, prototype creation, market survey, manufacturing setup, everything is done. Okay, now we are going for what? We are going for marketing and launch. Okay, we are going for marketing and launch. Now we are starting to do marketing and launch. Now who is expert in marketing and launch? This person. Okay, this person is expert in marketing and launch. How much work he is doing? He is doing this C person 20 by 3 into 3.75. So this will come to be 1.25. Okay, and this will come to be 25% of the work. Okay, this will come to be 25% of the work. So actually C is doing 75% of the work. Okay, actually C is doing 75% of the work. Now rest ABD, everybody will come to do this work. Okay, and they are doing how much percent of the work? They are doing 5% of the work. 5% of the work for how many days? For 3.75 days. So that comes to be 18.75%. Okay, that comes to be 18.75%. So just add 18.75 here, 18.75 here, and 18.75 here, and 18.75 here. Now, if you will add, you will get this 110 plus 18.75. So you get this as 128.75%. Okay. You will get for this one also 128.75%. This we don't need to worry about because this is 78.75%. Okay. And this will become 88.75%. So we come to know that B and D are doing the maximum amount of the work. Okay. We come to know that here B and D are doing maximum amount of the work. Let's see what our question was asking. Our question was asking for situation 6, the highest earning will be for. Okay. So both B and D are coming to be 128.75 and they are doing the equal amount of the work. So both B and D. Our answer will be both B and D. Now let us look at the next question. What the next question is saying. The value of earning for the highest earning person will be. Okay. Now see, 100% of the work cost 10,000 rupees. Okay, so 128.75% of the work will cost how much rupees? Obviously, multiplied this into this 10,000. So you will get 12.875. Okay, sorry, 12,875 rupees. Okay, so this is our answer. Okay, so now see in data interpretation, once we find out that which of the information is correct, then we are automatically able to do the next question. Okay, so in this question, we didn't have to calculate anything. Fine. So this is how our question ends. Okay, so we have done a very lengthy data interpretation question of time and work. Okay, so this was a little cumbersome, but we have sometimes these kind of question occur and we have to do these kind of questions. Okay, I think one more question is left at the last. No, none is left the last. Okay. So basically we had 10 questions. We solved it. It was all related to data interpretation. So see in time and work also data interpretation can be asked. You be very clear with these concepts. Okay. So this is up for this class. We'll meet in the next class.